Hello, welcome back to Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews. So as always, thank you for stopping by my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you so much. I have a couple makes I want to share with you today and a couple of fabrics, I dare say plans. I don't do well with plans, but these are things that I actually bought the fabric specifically for. Two of them are. So I'm going to share those plans with you, and hopefully I'll be able to get them made up here soon. I still am a little bit hoarse. I try my best to keep it at bay and drink a lot of water. I'm better. I'm fine. But I still have this little bit of a cough and clearing my throat, so I do apologize if I have to do that. So this is Friday Sews, and that hashtag was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And she has allowed all of us to jump on there and make a video and put it out on Fridays of what we've been sewing, what we want to sew, and a little bit about life. So I'm going to have a little bit about life at the very end because I know a lot of times you don't have time to watch a whole bunch of, chatter and then the sewing part. So I'll get to the sewing part and show you what I've been making. Now, you're probably already familiar with another hashtag. It's hashtag the fabric wheel of fate. And this was started by Carol from Sew Carol. And this is a way that we can use a little spinny wheel or roll dice or all sorts of different ways, put numbers on some fabric and draw out a number of a bag, and then you sew whatever fabric is chosen. I'm using a wheel that Greg made me similar to Carol's. And it's just a great way, I guess we all have fabrics maybe that weren't quite what we thought they were going to be, or maybe we ordered them and we didn't get to actually look at them in person, and when we got them, maybe they just didn't do what we thought they would do, or maybe we just love them so much and we're afraid to cut them. So that wheel of fate just takes that decision out of our hands, and it forces us. You can't go against the wheel. You have to sew what the wheel tells you, or that defeats the whole purpose. So it forces us to sew these fabrics. Of course, we get to choose which ones we choose from. But anyway, I had made a dress, and I'll put a picture of it in here, and it was a Nancy Zeman pattern, and it had a cowl neck on it. Now, I like the way a cowl neck looks, but I didn't like this cowl neck. It wasn't very drapey, and it was just kind of put on to the top of the neckline, and I'll put pictures in, but the underside of it showed, and it didn't hang well. Now, I had wonderful suggestions from people. Some people suggested taking the cowl off and putting a band, just a neck band on it like you would a t-shirt. Others suggested lining the cowl. Others suggested adding a larger cowl so it would be more drapey. And all those suggestions were wonderful. And I have not replied to all my comments on my last two videos. And I will, and I've read every one of them, but I don't usually heart the comments until I have replied. Sometimes I do, but I have read every one of them, and it was such great suggestions, and I appreciate that because it really did kind of confirm to me that you all didn't like that neckline either, or that you knew I didn't, and a lot of people said, you're not going to wear it if you don't like it. Anyway, I didn't have enough of that fabric to cut a different cowl or even a lining. All I had was some very small scraps. So what I decided to do with that neckline was just remove that cowl and add a neckband. Now, I had a comment, and I believe it was Carol from Sew Carol that said, I needed to keep in mind that it might be too low if I, cut that off since it was made to be the cowl. That was the version I had made. So I cut what fabric I had, and I had to piece it. But I cut a 2.5 inch strip of that fabric and used that. And this is what I wound up with. And this is my neckband. and I love it. I absolutely love it. It looks good, it hangs good, and I just like this finish so much better. And I think the next time that I make this pattern, it really fits me really well, and I think this higher waist with a little elastic is flattering even on me as much as it can be. But I think next time I make it, I will make the neckband to begin with. And what I did, I measured the circumference of the entire neck, and I did 86%, because this is a very stretchy fabric, and I knew it would stretch a lot, and I wanted it to stretch a lot so it would hold the neckline in without popping out. So anyway, I'll put pictures. Hopefully I will have already put some pictures of how it looked before, and then I'll hopefully put some by now of how it looks now. But I'm thrilled with it, and will definitely be wearing it. I also thought, even with this, it would be really pretty with a sweater over it. Now, I just popped a cardigan, just a ready-to-wear cardigan on over it, but I think it would be beautiful with a pink, either a pink cardigan or even a pink pullover sweater, or even maybe a like the Evanston vest by Love Notions or something sleeveless, and then that way it would just kind of look like a skirt maybe. Anyway, and it would be warmer. But this is made out of double brush poly, but I'm just really thrilled. So thank you to everyone who confirmed that the cowl needed either work or needed to be replaced. And because of my amount of fabric I had, I did choose the neckband. Now, you may remember a week or so ago, I was making this. And I will have to put the pattern number on in the description, because I don't remember which pattern I used. It's one of the big four. But I have worn this thing out. I love it. It's been washed a couple times. It's just flannel, and I made the solid color arms, and then it has these pine cones, and it buttons down the front. So I didn't have as much of this fabric as I had of these colors, but I had the green colorway, which has the pine cones and then the solid, and I made the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse, and I am so in love with it. I have a pair of dark green Largo cargo pants that I made last year, and they're by Love Notions too, and that's what I've been wearing this with. And I did kind of my own thing on the sleeve. I cut the sleeves a little bit longer and put a cuff, just gathered it and put a cuff that I could slip on and off. And I didn't do the little V-neck with the bias binding that ties in front. I just kind of rounded off the pattern piece and made a round neck, but everything else is like the pattern. The yoke is fully lined, and I did put one of my little labels in. I just pinked the edges on this one just to see how it would look, basically. I have my labels here, and I will put another link if anybody didn't see that last time. They are printed on. They're not embroidered, but I got those off Amazon from a independent seller, and I'm very happy with them. And I keep them in my little pouch that Carol made for me that has strawberries on it. I wanted to put something special, and I couldn't think of anything better. Okay, quickly through these things that I'm thinking about making. Now, I do have my next make from the Fabric Wheel of Fate on my table and ready to cut out. I want to get that cut out whether I make it next or not, but I probably will make it next. I have a ready-to-wear dress, and it's this right here. I think you call this Houndstooth, but this is a knit. It is a polyester rayon spandex. B Classic is the brand name. And it's just sleeveless. And it's knit. It's made from a knit. Feels like kind of a double knit. And I'm not going to lie to you. I have had this at least 20 and maybe longer than 20 years. I got this. We had a church yard sale one time, and somebody had donated this for the yard sale, and I got it. And I have worn it to death. Now, it's a little big on me. The the armholes are a little bit big and it kind of hangs off on me just a little bit. But the way I wear this, I have a real pretty black sweater that Callie got for me, also ready to wear. And it looks like it looks like a twin set, like a shell and a sweater over the top of it. And it's black and it has ruffles down the front and a pearl button at the top. So I wear this, and I'll put a picture in the last time I wore it. I think it's just taken like in the mirror, but I'll put a picture because every time I wear this, I get so many compliments on it. And I wear it with that sweater, usually with black tights and black knee boots, because this just comes down right above my knees. But I wear this all the time. Now, I have wanted to replicate this. No, duplicate. That's the word. I've wanted to make another one like it. So I wanted to use that as a pattern and make one. And I found some fabric that came from Fabric Mart. And it's a double knit. And it's smaller. And it's a red houndstooth. I think I'm saying that right. I keep wanting to say something else, but I think it's houndstooth. But this is also a double knit. It might be just a fuzz lighter weight than this one. But I want to use this fabric and make one of these. Now, I have worn this one with a white t-shirt under it, long sleeve, short sleeved. And I usually wear it with that black sweater over the top. And I thought this would be perfect for the same thing, either with a white t-shirt, a white blouse underneath it, or with a little sweater, or even a short sleeve sweater or something over it, or a cardigan. I just love it, and I love it's simple. It's simple, but it still looks fairly, I don't know about elegant, but it looks good, because there's this one little lady at our church. Well, there's more than one that have great taste, but this one lady she has really good taste. And when I wore this a few weeks ago, she came up to me and she said, "Now that is beautiful. Did you make it?" And I said, "No, I didn't make this." And she said, "I would wear that. That is very classy." And I said, "Well, coming from you, that's a compliment," because she has great taste and she always just looks really good in her clothes and wears things that fit her well. And so that is my plan, hope. I'm going to try to remake something similar to this. And if I have a pattern that is anything similar, I might use a pattern. But I think right now my plan is just to lay this down and draw a pattern off of it. But I'm very excited to get that done. Now this next fabric, I found a picture of a dress, and I don't know where the picture came from. It was on Pinterest, and I'm going to put up a picture, and that's what sparked this whole thing of this fabric. I saw this dress, and I just thought how pretty it is. I love the way the stripes are not just straight around the dress. I love the way it has the front panel and then the princess seams, and it has that little bow type detail in front. And I have wanted to make something similar to that so bad. Now, I couldn't find any fabric like in the browns and the colors, but I did find a piece of black. And this is another double knit. And again, this came from Fabric Mart. Most of my fabric does come from Fabric Mart or Hobby Lobby or Joann. But this, and I hope that shows up well, it's, I don't think it's a animal print fabric, but it could be, I guess. But it's just got these lines on it, wavy lines. And I have been dying to remake that dress. Hello? I'm going to read them your card.
Are you?
Yes, I am. So I know I would have to have a pattern that has the princess seams in the front panel and all that. I have one here, and it's Butterixk 6449. And you may be able to tell better on the color blocked version. The only thing is, it has a waistband kind of made into it. And I don't want that. I want it to be just a solid dress. And I think I have another dress pattern that I've used for that, but I've got to rummage around. But that was one that I thought kind of looked similar. Now, I would want my sleeves to be at least 3/4 length, I want them to be snug fitting. I know that I would have to be really careful and make sure that the princess line hit where it was supposed to get that little kind of twist bow thing in there. So I don't know. I don't know if I can do it or not, but I wanted to try it. It's been on my list for a long time, and I've had this fabric for quite a while with that in mind. And this is the year of using what I have and sewing my fabrics and my patterns that I've not maybe used before, or even if I have used the patterns before, going through my fabric stash and actually using them. So if I mess it up, I might cry a few tears, but at least I will have enjoyed trying. So that's what I'm going to do soon. I hope. Okay, I have one more plan. I had picked up some of this red denim fabric, and I think I had shown it on a fabric haul once before, just a cotton denim, and it's red. And I think when I bought it, I just planned to try to make a pair of jeans out of it, but the more I've looked at it, I love overalls, just, you know, the straps and the back that comes up and all that, and I have a pair that I've had again for at least 20 plus years. And they still fit me, although they've always been a little too long in the crotch area. It's too long and they hang down and I have to tighten the straps up real tight. And I have gained weight since I wore them last, so I don't even know how flattering they would look. But I don't really care. I want to make a pair. Now I have two patterns, and I think if I use these patterns and hold the overalls that I have against these patterns, I think I may be okay and I might get it to work. My biggest contender here is Simplicity 9590. And I like both versions, but I would want to make the full length. And I don't 100%, I think I have some of these little metal thingamajigs, I don't know what you call them, that you use for the straps, but I almost wouldn't mind, since I'm making them to fit me. I don't think they would need to be adjustable, so I thought about just making the straps and maybe doing buttons and buttonholes. And anyway, this is the line drawings, and those are very similar to the ready-to-wear pair that I have. And this pattern goes from extra small through extra large, and yeah, I really want to make them, and you would see me coming miles away. But I just think I love red, and this is a really pretty cotton denim, and I could wear these potentially all summer. You could wear, I've got some white background with red polka dot knit that I could make a t-shirt out of. I really would look like a clown then, but I don't think I care. I think I just want to make it be pretty with a white t-shirt, a white turtleneck. You could just do so much with it, and that's what I want to do. So hopefully, if I have enough fabric to do that, and I think I will have. Now, there's a McCalls pattern, and it's 7547, and it's either pants, shorts, or the little overalls, and they're very similar to the others. But I kind of think that I like these a little bit better because they look a little more looser fitting through the bottom part, and I think that's the ones I want to use. Now that is it for the sewing. So if you're just here for the sewing and you want to go, I totally understand, and go watch other people and enjoy, because that's what I plan to do after a while. I taped all this once, or videoed my whole thing once, and realized I hadn't hit record. So I hope I'm not repeating myself. I can't remember which version that I actually said anything in. So if I have to edit parts of it out here, I'll do that. But today in the U.S. and maybe everywhere, I don't know what other people celebrate or when they celebrate it, but today is Valentine's Day, February 14th here in the U.S. And Greg had given me a sweet card. I'm making dinner here today. We are, because tomorrow night we have our church Valentine's Day banquet, when I'm wearing my red skirt and my white blouse that I showed you a few weeks ago. So tonight we decided that we would eat at home. So I love roast. I love pork roast, beef roast. I love chicken. I love meat. I love meat. I always have. Hamburger, yeah, I just love it. Anyway, we hadn't had a roast in quite a while. They're very expensive. But we decided that tonight we would make a roast and mashed potatoes and, you know, just cook at home. But Greg got me a Valentine. Now, he knows that I love Beagles, Snoopy. And this says, having you for a Valentine. And then the card is written, puts the happy in my dance. And then he has written me a note, and I told him I wanted to read it to you guys because nobody knows how hilarious he is except me and Callie. He's hilarious. But he wrote me a little poem, and I explained all the roast things so you would get this. He says, my Diane, I love you the most, so I bought you a roast. After we eat, I'll rub your feet. I hope your Valentine's Day is wonderful. Love you always, Greg. So he's a poet and didn't know it. And I had gotten dressed, and I took the pictures that hopefully I put in of my dress and my shirt. And I went to the bathroom to hang my towel up. And he said, what's wrong with your hair? And I said, nothing's wrong with my hair. I just fixed it. He said, oh, you're going to leave it like that? And I said, what's wrong with it? Well, nothing. I'm just not used to seeing it like that. It's usually straight. And I said, that's why I curled it, so it wouldn't be so flat and straight. And it was just hilarious because he said, oh, you're going to leave it like that? Yes, I'm going to leave it like that. Oh, man, honest to goodness. But I hope that you laughed on my Valentine. I sure did. But it was so sweet. I don't have anything else. Oh, everybody that has commented, and I may have already said this, and if I said this, I'll edit this out. On my surgery, I had a lot of comments with suggestions of what to do to try and fix it. Cleaning it, changing all the needles, cutting the threads, and completely rethreading it. All that was some of the suggestions, and I did every one of those things. I took the thread completely off. I took fabric and ran through the thread guides to clean it. I dusted out the inside. I changed both needles again. And Greg, I had a set of knives that I had bought for it, and I was afraid to try to change them, so he helped me, and we changed the knives in it. And I lowered the tension on that left needle thread, and so far it's sewing. The only problem now left is I need to adjust something because the loops on my serge are kind of loose. So the loops now, there's one of the looper threads that's too loose. And I've tried tightening up the tension. I've tried loosening the tension, but I'm going to get my book down and see what I need to do. It may be the differential feed messed up, or I don't know, but it is not breaking that needle thread anymore, and it's not dragging it along, not sewing. So thank you to everybody for all the suggestions, and I will answer all my comments. I had wonderful comments on my last two videos, and I've started replying, but I haven't finished yet. So I know this is getting to be really too long, so I'm going to stop talking. I did have my injection last Friday, and it had improved some. My vision had improved a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to use that same drug anymore. I think a long time ago when we were talking about it one time, I had explained that the medicine they wanted to try was $2,000 per injection. And once my insurance paid all it would pay, I would have still had to pay $400 a shot. And there was a foundation that would pay my copay above what my insurance, so I only had to pay like $15, which was such a blessing. But that foundation, for whatever reason, doesn't have, it's a nonprofit, but they're out of money. So it's not going to be available to help me with my copay anymore, which I understand completely, and I don't worry as bad about me as I do people. It also helped people with cancer drugs and with a lot of other types of illnesses that were being treated, so I do worry about those people a lot. But they had come out with another different drug, and the copay on it's like $150. So praise the Lord, it'll hurt, but it won't hurt as bad as $400. I don't know how well it will work. He said we would see next month, but I'm going to have to stay on the 6-week schedule for now, 6 to 7 weeks. But I'm seeing enough, and I can still drive and watch TV. And so praise the Lord, and I'm tickled to death, and it's all okay. I think that's all. I don't have anything to complain about. I don't have anything to you know, I'm good. We're feeling better, and I'm so thankful and so glad. And I have just truly enjoyed this Fabric Wheel of Fate thing. And of course, I always enjoy Friday Sews, and I always enjoy you guys and your comments. But I will get those replied to. I've just kind of had a few days that I couldn't really focus too good to see, but I am doing fine, and I will answer comments. But thank you for watching, and remember, don't ever give up on sewing. No matter how frustrated you get or how much fabric you may ruin, just remember, as long as you sew, you'll never have time or money to get into any kind of trouble. Just ask me how I know. See you next time. Bye.